I went to Google and I typed in the words, what is the reputation of the University of Cambridge? And these are some of the results that came out. University of Cambridge World Reputation Rankings. University of Cambridge is one of the top universities in the world. Okay, Harvard University is number 1 worldwide in 2014. Massachusetts Institute of Technology is number 2. Stanford University is number 3. University of Cambridge in the UK, that's the one I'm referring to, is number 4. So basically we have a lot of, in fact, all of the reputable sources cite the University of Cambridge as one of the top universities in the world. Let's see. The Faculty of Education at the University of Cambridge has a great international reputation. The University of Cambridge is one of the oldest universities in the world and one of the largest in the United Kingdom. So yes, this is in Europe. The University of Cambridge is one of the oldest universities in the world and one of the largest in the United Kingdom. Okay, I did this for a reason. Now we're going to go to a website hosted by the University of Cambridge. This is for the Fitzwilliam Museum. Okay? And this particular page is African-centered Egypt Kemet. I'm just going to read it. Let me reload it first. This section of the website will include resources and information on an African-centered approach to ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptians called their country Kemet, which means the Black Land. Many people forget that Egypt is part of the continent of Africa and only think of the modern state as part of the Middle East. This is because Arabic is the main language and the country is predominantly Islamic, following the settlement there in 642 AD of people of Islamic culture. However, there are many links between ancient Egypt and modern African cultures, ranging from objects such as headrests to hairstyles such as the side lock, and this and other evidence support the ideal that it was an African culture in addition to being geographically in Africa. For these reasons, Egypt is seen by people of African descent as part of their cultural heritage and history. The concept of Egypt as part of Africa is not a new one. Some of the earliest travelers to Egypt came from the ancient cultures of Greece and Rome, including Greek philosophers, mathematicians, scientists, writers, and poets who came to learn from the Egyptian priests. To the Greeks and Romans, Egypt was an African country, and their artists depicted the Egyptians as Africans, with black skin and tightly curled hair, described by the Greek historian Herodotus in 5th century BC as woolly. And I don't think anything else needs to be said. You know, a second thought, I think there's one more point that needs to be made because I'm going to spare my detractors the embarrassment because I pretty much can read their minds. I know what they're going to attempt to do. So let's establish one more thing. This is the Fitzwilliam Museum. I'm clicking on Museum History. The Fitzwilliam Museum was described by the Standing Commission on Museums and Galleries in 1968 as one of the greatest art collections of the nation and a monument of the first importance. It owes its foundation to Richard VII, Viscount Fitzwilliam of Marion, who in 1816 bequeathed to the University of Cambridge his works of art and library, put together with funds to house them, to further the increase of learning and other great objects of that noble foundation. What noble foundation? The University of Cambridge, of course. And then we go to this paragraph. The Fitzwilliam Museum is one of the greatest glories of the University of Cambridge. It is a museum of international stature with unique collections, most splendidly housed, like the university itself. Okay, I just had to do that because I get such lunacy whenever a point is made. You have people that clearly don't know anything, and they would say, "What's the connection between the University of Cambridge and which is one of the top ranked universities in the world? What's the connection between that and this museum?" Because they've never heard of it, and rather than do any research, they would just make such an asinine statement. So hopefully I'll spare them the embarrassment of making that comment, and nothing more needs to be said.